Hey everyone, if you are a startup entrepreneur, one of the best ways to demonstrate your product and the value that it brings is through a prototype or an MVP. And one of the hardest questions that entrepreneurs have asking individuals that they believe are their target market or their target customer is: would you buy this? Will you buy this? Will you actually pay money to buy this? And that is a very important question because a lot of people will say, yeah, sure, but until the money's on the table, you never actually know. So, one of the ways that I think to make entrepreneurs a little bit more comfortable, whether they're talking to customers or especially if they're talking to investors, is by building a prototype. So, today I wanted to share with you a prototype for a product that I conceived about 10 years ago when I still worked in the consumer market research industry. Uh, one of the things the market research industry does is try to understand people's emotional responses to products or services, or in the case that I'm going to demonstrate here, content that they are shown. Now, the traditional approach was to show a participant in a research study some content and then follow that up with a survey or a series of pointed questions about their experience. But one of the better ways that I have found is not by asking direct questions, but by actually uh, capturing the emotional response to content that is shown to an individual in real time. Because a smile is a smile, whether you're in the United States or in Japan or anywhere across the world, people's emotional responses show on their face are much easier to understand than trying to pocket them into a series of, strongly agree or strongly disagree questions. So today I want to show you the facial sentiment analysis tool that I created just for doing exactly this. So you can see right here on the screen is my facial sentiment analysis tool that has two different modes: the participant mode and the admin dashboard. And I'll show you both of those. So let's say that I am participating in a study to understand my emotional response to a particular piece of content. In this case, it'll be a commercial. So I go ahead and click on participant mode. I'm given a data protection and GDPR compliance notice. Then I go in and update my demographic information. I'll just put in some random data here and then complete that. And now the next thing you'll see on my screen is that my webcam has been initialized and is now showing my picture here where it's going to capture. So when everything looks good and my face is squarely within the frame, I click on ready. I'm given some experiment instructions to follow. But basically, the idea behind this is minimal evasiveness, rather than other than using your webcam, obviously, but minimal invasiveness. We just want to judge your responses based on your emotional facial expressions while watching a particular piece of content. And when we aggregate that with several different users, we should get a better picture about the ways that our content is impacting a particular group that we're trying to study. So I go click on ready. I see that there is a experimental video shown on my screen. I have lots of different options here. So let's go for this one right here. This is only a 15-second clip, so it should be very quick. So if I ready the clip, I can go to the start experiment button right here. And I'm going to watch the content and just react naturally. Although for this demo, I'm going to try and make my emotions maybe a little bit more exaggerated so they show up on the back end dashboard. So let's go ahead and watch the clip. So when the experiment is done and I understand that there's no audio that is going with that clip there, so you'll just have to take my word for it that I can hear audio in my ears. The experiment automatically closes, and the participant is complete with their participation and is given this thank you for your time participation message, which I'll close out and will take me back to the original screen. Now, say I'm on the opposite end, I'm on the research side, and maybe I've conducted this experiment across, say, 30 or more participants, and I want to see their aggregate data. How are their aggregate emotional responses collected from watching that clip? So I can start to see instances where emotions might be different than what I expected, or maybe the opposite of what I expected. So if I click on the admin dashboard right here, I can log in to the admin dashboard. And when we sign in, we're taken to this screen right here. You see that up at the top, I already have 4 participants. Again, I recorded a few of these before this video. 4 recordings, the average duration, 15 seconds. So most of the videos in this demo right here are only 15 seconds long. But if I want to go and filter, so say maybe I have many, many more participants, I can filter by the elements that were collected in the demographic form before participants participated in the study. For this demonstration, we won't worry about that, but we can go down, we can see here is our experimental video that I just watched. And beneath that, we can see the dashboard that has collected in real time my emotional response to watching that video. Now, the way that this is set up right now in the demo is that every 500 milliseconds, my webcam will capture an image of my face, determine what emotion or what emotions, I should say, are present within that particular instance, and normalize that data. So, some people might be slightly happy, maybe a little confused. Some people might be angry or surprised. So the way that this is set up right now is that there are 7 different emotions that are captured using this tool. There's happy, there's sad, angry, surprised, fearful, disgusted, and neutral. And we can also see over here this graph that shows how those emotions change over the course of watching that particular piece of content. And I'll show you a little bit more about these in a second here. Down below, we have other statistics that might be important to researchers. So the total number of recordings, the average duration of those recordings. So if, say, a participant stops watching a piece of content in the middle, this value would fluctuate. But for now, because it's such a short clip, we have 15 seconds for each of these and a total time of 1 minute of recorded data across all of my participants. I can also see a distribution of those individuals that participated in terms of age range. Right now, everyone's between 15 and 30. I wish that was true for myself. Unfortunately, it is not. Duration by age group. All of these dashboard elements could obviously be adjusted to meet your client's specifications. And then at the bottom, we have this table that outlines all of the different individuals by user ID, how much time they spent watching the clip, and some of the elements that were recorded during that intake form at the very beginning. Now, the real cool thing about this is that I can play this video right here and monitor these 2 graphs in real time to see if there's any particular moment within a viewer watching that content that their emotions change or shift. So I'm going to go ahead and press play and scroll down and look at how these are captured. So I'll go ahead and press play. And you can see as the video progresses, how we can see an aggregate display of users' emotions over time. So, for the most part, while people are watching this clip, myself included, their emotions are happy with a balance of neutral emotions. There's also some elements there that are probably negligible in this case, where we have some surprise or disgust or fear. But we can also see as we move the slider bar back and forth over our video, if there's any particular moment in time that we're interested in, we can identify that particular second within our video content and determine right at that point in time what are the aggregate emotions that a user is showing. So when we start out the video, everything is neutral, right? Because we have not seen anything yet. But as we move things along, say 5 seconds into the clip, or 9 or 18 seconds, we can see how the aggregate emotions change at a particular point in time and how that can allow us to understand which parts of our content are hitting, are not hitting, or might have to be adjusted. So, this is just a very simple demo showing a facial sentiment analysis tool. Interested in your feedback, not trying to sell anything to you in particular, but again, using demos like this, and this demo, I should say, took me all of 3 days to create. So you can do these very fast nowadays, and there's really no excuse not to have a prototype when sharing with investors or clients. So if you have any questions about how I created this or how this tool works or any of the tech stack, the front end or the back end that was used to design it, DM me or ask me in the comments. Thank you.